Ooh.
Hello. Sorry, let me just. I remembered this time to change the thingy. You know, the thingy.
Yeah.
I actually remembered. So, I know
Mm.
that you say that, oh, there's some things I haven't seen. And although it's true, there is a lot of media that we've shared, there is a lot that we haven't seen. And one of the examples I wanted to share was like an example. I haven't seen any of the Clone Wars.
Bitch, we did an entire fucking episode on that
Yeah,
shit.
but I haven't seen it.
Cause you're
So,
fucking
no,
stubborn.
no, listen.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, well, I don't know if we can do this cuz we watched the same." No, because you need to. Hi Dylan, you need to tell me what we have and haven't seen. And this is the reason. It's you and Chelsor that gave me the idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cuz somebody, not mentioning any names, was so adamant that she wasn't going to watch.
Okay,
Hold up. No,
bitch. Do we need to like
no, no, no,
splice in? No, 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 no. We need to splice in how you're like, oh lord, he looks like a fucking emo.
Oh,
Oh
listen,
my god, his
listen,
hair
listen.
looks so
Straight.
stupid.
No,
You try and tell me that.
okay, hold up.
Mm-mm,
First of all,
mm-mm.
I still will not see Batman. But then again, the reason why I'm not going to see Batman is because he's not one of my favorites. Like he's not a favorite comic book character or superhero that I like, right? So
Yeah.
I don't need to watch it. However, I'm gonna call someone out. This
Also, it's
friend
one
of
of those
mine,
things. No,
this
no.
friend
It's
of
also
mine.
one of.
Hold up.
No, 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 no. Uh-uh.
Let me
No, I've
finish.
already told
Let me
you. I've
finish.
already
Let
told
me
you I'm
finish.
boycotting WB.
Yes, but you also said that you didn't think Robert Pattinson is a action actor, right? Which again, I can see that. I can.
I've
But
talked to
you were
Chelsea
adamant.
and her husband.
Right.
They
You were
don't. He is
adamant.
not. He is
You
not
were
an action.
adamant that you weren't going to watch this movie. And then bam, two positive reviews from close friends of yours. You're like, "All right, I'm in. Let's go."
Do you even know who the second person was?
Yeah, yes. I'm friends
Okay.
with them on Facebook.
Okay.
I don't want to.
As
Yeah,
long
yeah,
as you
yeah, yeah.
understand that it's like in this situation, like Ray and Chelsea
Right, 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 right.
are a single unit in this
Yes, yes,
case.
yes, yes, yes. That I do know.
Um,
But
because they're married and shit. They only one person. They are not individuals. They are
right.
a
No,
hive
no, no,
mind.
no, no, no. There's another one on Facebook. Like I
Yes.
do. Yeah. No, I do know that.
And
But
they are not forgiving about movies. Like if
no,
it is a
that's
bad movie, it is a bad movie.
exactly, exactly. Which I can appreciate them for because they're as I guess as picky as we
They're
are.
more eloquent than I am. A lot of times I try and be kind of like positive about some stuff. Cowboy Bebop kind of
Yeah,
situation.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but they are far more eloquent with their words than I am.
Also, yeah, because I was about to say, like, you were like gung ho, like, nah. Well, also for the WB thing, right? But
Yeah.
you were like, also, this isn't my Batman. I don't think he looks like a Batman, which I agree because he doesn't do it for me.
I mean, he doesn't look like a fucking Bruce
No,
Wayne.
he doesn't. And I can agree to that. But I'm still not convinced. Like, I get that there's positive reviews, but I think I would rather watch it when it comes out on
Hmm.
like HBO Max or any of the
Hmm.
streaming services, right?
Hmm.
I'm not really big on like I guess watching it now, you know.
Yeah.
But you were convinced. And I'm just like, that's the title of today's show. We're going to do this, right?
I mean, sure.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So, that was something that I know that you were very adamant. So, let me ask, what changed your mind besides just having, two positive reviews? Like, there had to be something that made you
These
change your
are
mind.
these are opinions that I highly value.
Right.
Like super highly value. Like this unnamed friend on Facebook
Mm-hmm.
is like a big like superhero
Yeah.
fan. He
Oh, yeah.
they like um they enjoy Batman, they enjoy
Mm-hmm.
Superman, they enjoy the Marvel movies, things like that. So that is going to be like a biased but unbiased opinion
Uh-huh.
about a Batman movie or
Mm-hmm.
superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um they actually understand what is expected of this character from a comic book standpoint. Like
Right.
how this, especially with DC, as I've
Mm-hmm.
explained in numerous other podcasts, that DC live action characters have a harder time coming to life because
Yeah.
an actor has to play two different parts. In the case of
Yes, that's
Batman,
true.
you have to play
Yes.
Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So this person understands that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see their full review because they made sure to, at the very start before Facebook abbreviates it, um, they had glowing reviews about it.
Yeah. That was kind of
Um,
shocking to me. I didn't
so
I
I
didn't think it'd
scrolled
be that
past
good.
that before I got into anything that would tempt me into reading any spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then Chelsor and her husband
Mm-hmm.
both really enjoyed it. But they were praising the movie and not necessarily Rob's performance.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I am still hesitant. I'm probably not going to go see it on the big screen. I might come mooch off you. Hi, Kumo.
Hi, Kumo.
No, Ray actually, it's not Ray. We are kind of counting Ray and Chelsea as
Chelsor
a
as
single
one unit.
as one unit in this
Yeah.
situation. This
Yeah.
is a random friend that we've never talked about. That I don't believe has a really online presence, so we don't want to like throw them onto the online presence without their consent. Um, so I might just come over and be like, "Hey, let me borrow your HBO Max,"
Yeah, dude. Seriously, I'm okay with that too.
because there
Like,
was
I don't
also
know if I
something
want to
else
pay
you wanted
money.
me to watch with you.
Um, damn.
You know what I'm talking. You just expressly like said to my face like
I know.
me, and
I
this is
don't
like you are watching this
remember.
with me. I'm like,
I
all right,
don't
fine.
remember what it is.
But
Dang.
you know what? You know that you did this.
Yes. 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 I just don't
um,
remember what film it was.
and her husband, yes,
Yes.
yes, because
One unit.
Chelsor is the goddess.
Yeah. So we're gonna actually. This is gonna be interesting to do because I'm gonna call myself out in several movie shows in video games that I haven't played and I have yet to be convinced to play or watch.
Yeah. Hmm.
So because we're talking. Okay, yeah, that's true.
I'm
Karma.
sending that
Yeah.
to I'm sending that to Chelsea.
Um, but because we're talking films, I'm gonna start with the films first. Um, there are several like well-known films that I haven't seen yet.
Okay.
I know something that everyone's been talking about in the past few months is a film on Netflix called Don't Look Up, and that
Oh
has
wait, that's a new one.
yeah, and everyone is telling me you got to see it, you'd love it, Ricey, you got to see it, and I'm just like, eh,
That's fair.
and I don't know why because they're like it's hilarious. It has what's
Matt
his
Damon,
name?
right?
No, no, no. It's Leonardo DiCaprio. And
Right.
they
Okay.
have
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it has a lot of big name actors,
Yeah.
and it is like it has glowing reviews as well. And my husband is like, "When are we gonna watch this?" And my sister's like, "When are you gonna watch that?" And I'm just, eh,
This is gonna sound
maybe.
crazy, but like I've actually heard someone not have like a positive view with
Really?
it. Yeah.
Ooh.
I should track them down and kind of like send you what
Yeah.
they said. Um, because they're another opinion that it's like I do value.
Yeah. I trust my sisters because she knows what I like and what I don't.
I
Because I
mean, she's
can
your
be
sister.
picky. Yeah, that's true. But like,
What a
I can be
concept! Your
picky.
sister actually knows you? What?
Yeah. But that's one that I have. Like, I'm trying to be convinced to watch,
Mm.
but it's like a build up, and I don't know what's stopping me. And I don't know if it's because I mean, I know a little bit about it, but maybe I don't know. I don't know. I can't say. Don't know.
That's fair. I personally get into moods like I don't want to watch this, I don't want to watch this, I don't want to
Mhm.
watch this, and then it just takes me forever to figure out what I want to watch.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, and we're gonna just not talk about a lot of horror movies because there is a lot of horror movies I
there are a
refuse to
lot of horror
watch.
movies.
So we're gonna take that off the table. No horror films because
Because
I will not
it's
watch a lot of
that's
them.
like a preference really.
I
Like
think
I
so
don't
too. You have
want
to
to
have.
watch Freddy movies because I know Freddy movies
Oh,
tend to
I
be
love the Freddy films, like the Nightmare
a
on Elm
lot have
Street.
yeah, a
Yeah,
lot
I
they
like
tend to
those.
be a lot heavier on gore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like I don't enjoy gore. Like
Mm-hmm.
gore has to be done in like the perfect kind of way for me to be able to like handle it.
Right. I can watch Nightmare on Elm Street, but I cannot watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise at all.
Legitimate. That's
I
valid though.
cannot watch that.
That is
And
extremely valid.
yeah, I haven't like I remember we had the classic, like my friends did a movie night and they had the
Yeah.
classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre from like the 70s or 80s, like the first, right?
Yeah, like late 70s.
Yes. I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it. And
Poor Kumo.
I'm not a fan of gore either. Had to kill Ricey String because it got. Oh yes, I
She
played
was
a
freaking out
horror
at
game.
work. She's like, I have this
Oh
new
my god.
game
So
that
I
looks
don't.
so good, but it's got all this gore, and I
It.
don't know if I'm gonna have.
Oh
Even
my
she wasn't sure
goodness.
if she was just gonna have to nope out of
No,
it
no, no.
herself.
So it's interesting. It's not. I mean, okay. First of all, it is kind of scary. I'm a bitch to that. But the story is incredibly interesting. And what I'm talking about is Martha is Dead, a video game, like an indie game that came out
Mm-hmm.
February 22nd or 24th or something
So
like that
this year.
of this year. So it's brand new. Yeah, Kumo, respectable. I don't know. Is this a spoiler? No, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But I told you one of the scenes that I had to act
Yeah.
out made my stomach churn. And if you go back, actually, I should probably clip it because if you go back and see
Yeah, you
my
want to do
face,
that quick.
yeah, I was like, if you go back and see my face, you could see I was just like, blah, 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 blah. No, it was bad. But I'm having fun with it. Like dead ass, I'm having so much fun with it. It's really
Yeah.
nice.
Cool.
It's just the gore is just
A
but
lot.
yeah. So again, we're not doing horror films, right?
Yeah.
None of that. Um here is a film that I never watched as a kid. Or if I did, I didn't sit through the whole film. And it's a classic. But we're
That
just gonna
tracks for
start off
you.
light. Yeah. It's An American Tale.
Okay, I've never seen American Tail either.
Me
I
either.
have
And
seen
like
I have seen Fievel's Go West.
I did
And
too.
why that is, I have no
I
idea.
did too.
Like
I
I don't
did
understand
too.
like how I didn't see the first one but like religiously watched like the second one.
I
I
remember
don't
that distinctly as well. I don't know why my
understand.
parents like did that. I
I think
don't
it
know
was a
why.
lot more digestible because it's a Don Bluth movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Don Bluth movie, so we understand 80s kind of like children's stuff is supposed to be like intense as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Don Bluth stuff, and it has a happy ending.
It
Um,
does. Mm-hmm.
my parents probably, because I've admitted like I was a very like terrified child, got scared very easily, had nightmares very easily. So my parents probably didn't let us watch it
Mm.
because of that. That's also probably why I didn't watch The Secret of Nim until I was in like late middle school, high school kind of situation.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
But we were allowed to watch Five Goes West because it didn't have that really intense Don Bluth horror.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was also a Western, and my dad was like one of those Western people.
Yeah, no,
Really
yeah,
like
yeah,
Westerns.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's cute. I do. I can appreciate that. That's cute.
I
But
also
that's
had
like
a
a classic.
kitty.
It also had a cat.
It had a sheriff kitty.
Yeah. Um. So I'm calling myself out on several, right? And
Okay.
we're still sticking to films.
Okay.
I have seen The Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
However, comma, I have not seen the entire Hobbit series.
same.
I
I haven't even
remember.
watched Lord of the Rings.
Okay, first of all, we're gonna stop right there because. Excuse me.
Yep. Like it's so ingrained in our culture that it's like I don't need to see it.
What are you talking about? Yes, you do. It could.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. And
No, I don't,
yes, you
because I can
do.
argue with you
No,
that you need to read and finish watching the Harry Potter. The Harry Potter
I've
movies are
seen
kind of up
all
in
of
the
the
air, but
films, so I actually
but you
watched
need
this
to
film.
read
Are
it.
we talking books? No, bitch. Sit your ass down. We
Okay,
talking
but
films.
it's a source material.
No,
It is
no,
a
no.
prime source
No,
of
okay.
material because
Okay.
the
First of
movies
all,
cut out so much.
um, this is why I'm going. You have to see it. This is why. Yes, there is a lot of stuff that's taken, like, that's not in the movies that were in the books, right? With
Yeah.
any book to film type movie, there's going to be that. However, I think you should really watch The Lord of the Rings for because it's a very good fantasy film, especially the first one. I feel like the first film you would really enjoy
But here's
because
the
it's
thing,
literally like
I
a
don't
bunch of
like those
different
types of fantasy films.
what
I don't like those
with the
types of fantasy
adventure
films.
and the what was it the was it it's the scenery the way they created the
Okay, it's
world.
New Zealand though, so like
No, 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 no. It's not just that. Like, even as it's just you have. Oh my gosh! The
I
cinematography is
think
fantastic.
I
The
broke crazy.
music. I had the soundtrack to the first film, and I lost it. And I don't want to talk about it, but I had the soundtrack to the first film because my mom, me, and my sister, we all loved it. Like it's amazing as a fantasy film. And the reason why, even to this day, it stands the test of time is because unlike The Hobbit, where a lot of it was CG,
Hmm.
this one had more practical effects.
Yep.
And it's so good.
Hmm.
Like yeah, it's ingrained in your culture and you don't have to like watch it. But I didn't have to watch fucking Twilight, and I did it too because it was ingrained in our culture. But it's something you have to see before you die. Like that is a film
Yeah.
series. I dead ass believe that's a film series you have to see before you die.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And it's not just like, of course, the story is very strong, but the cinematography and the what is it? The soundtrack is good. Oh my God, Kumo. That's true.
Excuse you,
He did,
excuse you.
and it was
That's Ewan
beautiful.
McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi,
No,
not Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn.
you don't
Excuse
know.
you,
Viggo
Kumo.
Mortensen's hot, and also
Viggo
Orlando
Mortensen is
Bloom.
hot. Like,
Mm,
I am not ashamed to say
mm.
that. Like, I had a major crush on him growing up.
And
He
you wouldn't
hot.
watch the film with him? Mm-mm.
It's my same argument with Batman versus Superman. Not
Okay,
enough or not
that's
enough
shit.
Batman.
That's shit. Batman versus Superman is utter shit. No one should watch that. Nobody should watch that. And if you did, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I did too.
I
And I
watched it
don't
because of
remember.
Batman. I
I
watched it
don't
for Batman,
remember
and then they just fucked
anything.
it over.
I was just like, it takes a lot for me to forget a film because it shows how much I do not enjoy it. And that was one of them. That was one of the few films that I didn't enjoy. I was like, nah, I'm good. Mm-mm. Play. But Lord of the Rings, you have to
Mm.
see it. Like, I mean, it doesn't even have to be soon, but when you're old and decrepit and you want to feel young again and want to go on an adventure, watch the Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings because that's how I feel now. It's beautiful. Such a beautiful
Um,
film. I love it.
I'm gonna slip into horror for just a second
Yeah.
because it's not really horror. It's more of a psychological thriller, especially the original
Silence of the
one.
Lambs?
Oh, I have seen Silence of the
Okay, I was about
Lambs.
to say that's also a classic.
That they did such a good job with that. Like
Yeah,
that.
they really did. Oh my goodness, that's such
I'm
a good.
going a little bit older than that.
Okay.
I am going to talk about The Wicker Man.
Really, you haven't seen The Wicker Man? No, I'm
No,
talking about like the '70s, not the one
I
with Nick
have seen the
Cage.
70 ones. I don't think I've
Oh,
seen the
the one
Nicolas
with Nick.
Cage one.
Okay, well,
I have seen this because I thought I was grabbing the Nicolas Cage one from the library
mm-hmm.
and was very confused about what I was watching until I did some research and realized, oh, the one that had been promoted like a year or two before
Yeah,
was a remake
mm-hmm.
and that they had made it a lot more supernatural-esque kind of
Yeah, yeah,
situation,
yeah.
a lot more psychological.
Mm-hmm.
Though the original was very good. It was weird. I wasn't expecting it because I didn't know what I was
I
getting into, but it was very good.
I liked the classic more than the Nick Cage film
It was
personally.
it because of Nick Cage.
No, no, no. I love Nick Cage. I absolutely adore him. But it was the way that they took like the material. For example,
Mm.
I'm gonna compare this to what's that? Midsommar, like
Okay,
the
yeah.
film, because both of them are dealing with cult-like communities, right?
Hmm.
And it's the reason why both of them are kind of unnerving, or yeah, unnerving, is because these are things that could actually happen. Like there are cult communities just like them that you know can get away with all of this, and that's scary. Whereas the Nick Cage film, it's eh, you know, I mean, it's
The Nick
good.
Cage film is weird because it's not really giving you an exact location,
No.
while in the original, it's like we are off Ireland. We're on an island
Yes.
off of Ireland.
Yes.
We know we are in the old world.
Yes. And the way that they lured the main character, like, because they were psychologically like fucking with them, with
Oh,
this girl,
absolutely.
finding this girl. So I loved it. I actually do prefer the classic over than the Nick Cage film, but that's
Hmm.
just me. And not to say that the Nick Cage film was bad. It's because it's not, but I do prefer the classic one
It's
more.
missing that charm,
It
almost. Like not
is
really charm. It's missing this flavor to it
that, yeah.
that isn't necessarily a charm, but like
Mm-hmm.
it is definitely missing an element to it that would make it iconic.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I do
I am
think
a
that's
little
it.
surprised you have seen the original Wicker Man.
Oh, actually, it was my husband who, when we first started
Of
dating.
course.
Yeah, so when
Of
we first
course.
started dating, he was like, you should watch a lot of the old classic horror films.
Hmm.
um Chucky was off the table immediately. But he's like, you
Immediately.
should, yeah, immediately. And he was like, have you seen The Wicker Man? And I said, yeah, the Nick Cage film. And he looks at me and he's
Oh,
like,
you
no.
have offended your husband.
I did. I did. And I just remember him looking at me and he was like, no, the classic. And I said, what? There's a classic? He's like, we're watching it right fucking now. So we were at his apartment watching the old horror film, and I actually do appreciate it. It is very good. And it's not scary, but just like you said, it is a psychological thriller because it fucks with you, and it's so
It
good
is
at
very
doing that.
much a thriller. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
kind of miss those thrillers
Mm-hmm.
because they weren't meant to be like scary, scary. They were meant to be unnerving, and modern thrillers don't do that, or psychological thrillers don't really do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Well, here's
Because if
another
you
classic.
look at The Ring, the
Oh
American
God.
Ring, not
Yeah, not the
Ringu,
Ringu,
because the Ringu does a good job with that psychological kind
which is
of
why I refuse to watch
horror.
it.
Oh, it's so
I
good.
don't
You
want
would
to
love
watch
it
it. I
so
Japanese
much.
horror is very good, and
It's
I'm
very good.
terrified because how good it is.
But it's like a 70s or an 80s movie,
Mm-hmm,
so
mm-hmm.
you would really like it.
Mm-hmm.
I promise. Oh, am I gonna have to convince you to watch Ringu?
Yeah.
Ringu is so good. It has that very classic horror to it. It doesn't feel like
I
out of
freaked the fuck
place
out
to
over
have.
The Ring. Like and I watched that with my mama, and I
The
was like,
Ring?
yo,
I watched The Ring by myself when I was
uh-uh,
in like
uh-uh,
late middle school.
mm-mm. I don't fuck with spirits, dude. I just don't do that. And that was an angry spirit. Hell no. All right.
But you've seen The Grudge?
I watched it with my friends in the theater, and I walked out of the theater. Mm-hmm.
We'll
And don't
watch
tell
The
me to
Ring.
watch the Ju-on, which is is
I
it
know.
Japanese or Korean version of The
I
Grudge,
think
like the
Ju-on is
OG.
supposed to be Korean.
Yeah, that's the OG film, and I'm just like, no, I'm good. I don't gotta watch it. I watched it now. Um, when I'm in my own house, I can watch it because I'll curl
Mm.
up and hide my face, and that kind of thing. Just
No,
a,
I'm good. You're gonna have to see Ringu.
okay. Well, let me ask you.
Okay.
We're gonna move away from uh, horror films for just a
Mm.
second. Have you ever seen the Titanic?
No, I haven't. I was at a sleepover one time when I was in elementary school. Um, and the mom was really cool. The
Yeah,
girl that invited me was very sweet.
yeah.
Um, but the mom understood, and like the girl understood that my mom didn't want me or my little sister to watch the Titanic,
Mm-hmm.
but that mom would let her daughter and some of the other girls watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So we watched like I think it was like Pocahontas 2
Yeah,
in the other room.
I
Um,
love Pocahontas too. Straight to DVD or video, you know.
VHS at that
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
and the other girls were watching the 2 VHS edition of the
Mm-hmm.
Titanic. Um,
I had
and
that.
the
I had the two VHS because it was so long. You had to cut it up.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I just never got around to watching it. It never like again, going back to the moods, I was never in the mood for it.
Okay. If you want a tragic romance, that's the film for you because again, the way they created this set.
If I want tragic romance, I'll watch The Untamed again.
Oh yeah, that too. Fuck that film. Anyway,
Hey.
no, fuck that show. So I feel like the Titanic is important because it is such a classic film throughout like the history of filming, right?
Right.
It had again a beautiful score and
Aren't they
it
both
was
James
it was
Cameron?
mainstream for like it some of the music was mainstream on the radio. What was that one song that everyone sang? It was a 1997 film, so of course it
My Heart
sounded.
Will Go On.
That's it. That's the one with Celine Dion.
Mhm.
And that shit was everywhere. I heard it everywhere. And of course, a very young Leonardo DiCaprio with who's very charming. But I actually appreciated the set design, like of how they
Right.
filmed it. It was beautiful. And the costumes. You would love the costume designs in that film. It's so good. My God, it's so good.
I will
You
admit, like, the Titanic is not as ingrained in um pop culture as other movies are. It's
okay?
iconic, yes, but
hmm
it's not like deeply ingrained.
I wouldn't say that just because there is so many memes of I'm flying, Jack. I'm flying. You know when she's standing in the front of the boat with her arms outstretched and stuff.
Even then, it's not
It's
like ingrained. It's like it's a
I have
reference, sure,
yeah,
but
but a lot of like TV shows or comedies or whatever, they will always reference that. So it was, in fact, I will debate with you in that. I do think it was ingrained in pop culture, but it may not be as much now, but it definitely was in the 90s, 2000 and 90s and early 2000s. I genuinely
yeah,
believe it because we not only did that like spark an interest in learning the history of the Titanic, they even sold like the heart of the ocean in the museum where you can pick a name. Have you ever done
mhm.
this? Where you
What?
go through like the Titanic, so they give you a name, right? And
Okay, where? Are you talking about like the Smithsonian? What are you talking
no,
about?
no, this happened to me in the McWayne Center in Birmingham. They had like a museum. I was a kid. I remember this, and you can quote unquote experience what it's like to be in the Titanic. So they give you a name and they give you a class. I was lower class, so well.
Mm,
And then while you're walking through the museum, you see like how the upper and lower class was. You see like the designs of the ship and everything. It was really really interesting. But at
yeah.
the very end of the like experience, like the Titanic experience, you see if you live or died. I died. My sis
Yeah, I was about to
lived.
say you did. Yeah.
I died. My sis lived. So, and that to me was really interesting. And they did this because Titanic was still so prominent. And after the film, everyone was so curious. So, a lot of people, like museums, were like, okay, we'll do a Titanic like themed
Are you
thing.
sure the McWayne Science Center did this and it wasn't the Birmingham Museum of Art?
I don't remember. I was a kid. It was like the 90s, like I said. But I'm pretty sure I still remember it, but I do remember it was in a museum and they did like a special. And my mom, who's seen it and fell in love with the film, of course, she was like,
Yeah, your
grab
mom
your
was a
sister. We're going.
romance, wasn't she?
Yeah. She was a
She was a
big
hopeless
romance buff.
romantic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's like, grab your kid, like grab your sister. We're going. And they sold the heart of the ocean, which has nothing to do with Titanic whatsoever, but they were actually selling replicas of the heart of the ocean. And my sister says to this day she regrets not getting it because it was a really good replica. But yeah, so I do think that it did ingrain in our culture. Maybe not as much now because we have more iconic films coming out in this day and age, but at the time, yes, very much so. And I'm glad it's still being referenced in other forms of media for sure. That's a classic. That's a very classic movie. And that's something you really should see for sure. I'd rather you watch that than Twilight, which is also very heavily ingrained in our culture.
Well, I've seen
No.
two of the four movies.
Mm. A Twilight? Yeah,
Yeah.
same. After the second
I
film, it was like I'm
don't
over it.
think I watched the two movies for what, Breaking Dawn? Or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the final book was.
Yeah, nah, I didn't watch that
Oh,
either.
Eclipse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I never got around to it.
Okay.
Um,
This is.
I
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know. Twilight was weird because it's like, yeah, it was easy for everyone to get on like reading it very
Mm-hmm.
easily. I think they waited too long to get the movies done. if that makes sense. That
That
it's
makes
like the
sense.
movies
Yeah.
kind of miss the peak
I agree.
of it.
I can see that. Yeah. Hmm.
Because all the books were already out. Well, except what is it, Midnight Sun or whatever that
Oh
just finally came out.
God. There's that
Um,
one.
because all the books were already out for it.
Right. Right. I do agree. I think it did kind of miss the mark with the final
Hmm.
book, but I knew that how much it was ingrained in our culture because even my high school teachers would read it. They're like invested in it. Okay, here's another classic that I haven't seen. Have you ever seen The Godfather?
I've never seen The Godfather.
Me either.
Um,
But my husband, he was like, "What do you mean you haven't seen The Godfather?" Because he's, old classic
yeah,
film.
your husband is obsessed with like basically anything before 2000.
Yeah, he loves the old classic films for sure. And he's like, "What do you mean you haven't seen The Godfather?" And he's tried throughout our relationship to get me to watch it, and I'm just like, I'm not big on
Mafia
mobster films.
story.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
mafia stories, mobster films. I'm not good with. I don't know why. I
I
don't know.
agree with you. I do agree with you on that. I don't see the like I understand why people like it.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch it growing up because it was so bloody. Not necessarily gory. I
Oh
mean, but it
yes,
was
it is
so
bloody.
fucking
Mm-hmm.
violent
Mm-hmm.
and bloody. My parents wouldn't let us watch it.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
fair.
as I was starting to develop my interest in stuff, mob and mafia stuff never piqued my interest, so I've never gone out of my way to watch it. And that's the same thing with The
Oh,
Sopranos. Like I understand some people are obsessed with The Sopranos, but I'll never get into it.
I. That's a good. Yeah, the Sopranos are good.
Yeah.
All right. I think, unless you have another film on your mind, we could move to TV shows.
I do have one more. It's
Okay.
an older one. It's a very unique one, and I feel like you would absolutely love this movie. It's something that was really like pivotal for me and my sister growing up. It's
Okay.
called The Thief and the Cobbler.
I've seen it.
It's an
I've seen it.
You have
I
seen it?
saw it when I was a kid because it was an unfinished film, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I remember I watched it as a kid and I thought it was like a fever dream. I didn't because the animation in that film was astounding. And for
And you
those
have to realize all of that was hand
Yes,
drawn
that was 2D animation.
because that was started in 1970.
Yep.
Or like even the 1960s.
And they had to cut it because the creator was so picky on how it should have been drawn and like animated that it took that long to finish it. And even now, like they had to kind of rush it, like the finishing the like animations. They had to kind of rush it to get it out because it took what was it 15 years to fit to finish?
No, it took it like 30 years.
When did it actually finish? When was it like actually completed? Because there's
Like I
two
think
versions of the film.
96.
Yeah, because
No.
there's two versions of the film. I watched it recently last year, and then I watched a documentary on the film, um, what you can find on YouTube.
Oh, 93.
Yeah, um, and they said there was two versions of the film that like the first version where it was incomplete, and then the full version that they finally completed. But yeah, it's out there somewhere. And that's also a classic film. I feel like that anyone who has any appreciation for animation definitely should watch that film. It
Would
blew
not
my mind.
suggest it if you're prone to like epilepsy.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, 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 yeah. There's a lot of like optical illusion kind of thing. It does a lot for your eyes. Let's just say that. There's a lot going on and it does so much. to your eyes.
But if you like, if you know you like that kind of stuff, it is so fun to
Oh
watch.
yeah, I kind of want to watch it high because I want to see how that it's like tripping out and watching it. Hmm.
So, The Thief and the Cobbler, according to Wikipedia, is an
Mm-hmm.
unfinished animated fantasy film directed by Richard Williams. Originally conceived in the 1960s, the film was in and out of production for nearly 3 decades due to
Mm-hmm.
independent funding and ambitiously complex animation. So, it wasn't that it was too complex. It's like they kept having to stop because it was privately funded, personally
Mm.
funded. Um, it was finally placed into full production in 1989 when Warner Brothers agreed to finance and
Oh yes.
distribute the film. When production went over budget and fell behind schedule, it was heavily cut and hastily
Mm-hmm.
re-edited by producer Fred Calvert
Yeah.
without Williams' involvement. It was eventually released by Allied Filmmakers in 1993 under the title The Princess and the Cobbler. 2
Yes.
years later, Disney's Miramax Films released another re-edit titled Arabian Night. Both versions of the film performed poorly
Yeah.
at the box office and received mixed reviews. I have specifically seen The Thief and the Cobbler. I have never seen The Princess and the Cobbler. I have
Mm-hmm.
never seen Arabian Night.
Because I knew there were several versions of the film, which is interesting. It makes the film just even just that more interesting.
Because the original intent for the movie was uh the main character is the cobbler.
Yes.
He's our protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I guess you could say like the antagonist is technically the thief
Well, well.
in a sense, but the main character is the cobbler and he is so was supposed to be a silent character,
Mm-hmm.
but they decide to have what is his name? Not Pierce Brosnan. What's his name? Matthew Broderick. Um was put in as this narrator, this very unnecessary narrator. So he's talking through all of it with no real reason
Yeah.
when everything was created to be just visual. It's
Yes.
like everything is explained visually. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the only person that was really supposed to have any talking roles was, again, I guess he could be the antagonist, but he is definitely the villain of the movie. His name's Zigzag,
Yes.
and he is voiced by Vincent Price.
Mm-hmm.
Because his lines were originally recorded when it was first being produced,
Yeah, that's right.
and he talks in a very specific way. He has these rhymes and these. It's a very specific poetic style.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that again fits the movie, but because of Matthew Broderick just rambling constantly,
Yeah,
it takes away from
it
it.
does. It does. I will say that's a good film to end
It's
on.
a very good
Mm-hmm.
film.
Very
I
good
like the
animated film.
I like the bandits.
Yeah.
The bandits are really
Also,
funny.
there is something before we move on.
Yep.
Um, there is already like Disney caught wind of the film,
Mm.
and they were, let's just say, heavily inspired and made Aladdin from that film.
I mean, fair.
Mm-hmm. Because the title Arabian Nights was technically also the title they were going to give for like Aladdin.
Mm.
And there is a lot of similarities to the two films. But
But surprisingly, Arabian Night, it is there's also Arabian Night Marvel Comics.
yeah.
If you follow through Wikipedia.
Hmm. All right. We don't have a
Yes.
lot of time left. So let's move on
We have all
to
the time.
TV shows. TV shows.
The
Okay.
TV
The
shows.
TV shows.
Yeah.
I'll call myself out first because this
Okay.
is an iconic show
Okay.
that anyone and everyone has seen. You have all the time in the world, 24 hours a day. I will never subject myself to that. I'm old. I go to bed at a decent hour, okay?
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't gone to sleep in a while. But anyway,
Okay.
classic.
All
This is
right.
also a show that has heavily influenced our generation and actually
Mhm.
many generations. And that show is The Office. I've never seen The Office
Okay,
full
question.
through.
Question. When we're
Mm-hmm.
now that we're into TV shows, I do
Mm-hmm.
want to like clarify. Are you talking about never
Not
seen an
not the British
episode?
offices.
No, no, no.
Okay.
Are you talking about never seen an episode, never seen a full season of it,
I've never seen a
or
full season. So I used to go to this hookah bar that's now closed, and they
Mhm.
would play The Office. So you're just
Okay.
chilling and relaxing with The Office is playing in the TV.
Yeah. Okay.
And there are some times where I will catch The Office um, and watch an episode, right? Because it's
Yeah.
already there. But I've never sat down. And the funny thing is, I actually like the episodes that I've seen. Like, I really, really do. But I've never actually sat down and watched a full season.
Okay. So for our like so
Shows.
TV shows,
Mm-hmm.
um I have never watched a full season of The Office. I have tried to sit down and watch a few episodes of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me. Like I have tried to watch I've watched 3 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not for me.
I
I
like,
did give it a chance. I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
start from the beginning, but I did try to give it a chance and it is not my cup of tea.
I do like comedies like that. I like that, but yeah, and it's bizarre because I wouldn't sit and watch a season, and I can't blame anybody but myself because I do like it. I just never sat down to watch it, and that is definitely a show that has been heavily influenced in our generation.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Kumo, did you like The Office? I will also say, um, this is not something you have to see, but Brooklyn Nine Nine, that's a freaking amazing show too. I love that show.
Okay, so from the memes I see,
Hit or miss by season. Yeah, that,
I've
hopefully, I
kind of
guess I
heard
watched
that
all the
with
good ones.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that about the American Office too.
Mm-hmm.
From what the memes I've seen of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it does look like it's more my humor.
I
I
love Brooklyn
just,
Nine Nine.
I think it was coming out on like a cable channel
Yeah,
for
it was.
originally.
Yes.
And when it was coming out, that's kind of when I stopped. I kind of gave up on watching
Mm-hmm.
cable. And just didn't really know about it.
Yeah,
And
that was.
now it's been picked up by one of the streaming services, one of the
Yes.
main streaming services, and I just haven't gotten around to like paying attention to go find it and watch it.
Right.
I do think I would actually enjoy it.
It's so good. It's so funny. I really enjoy it, and the all of the characters in the show has such distinct personalities
Mhm. Mhm.
uh, that I really, really like. Like they wrote the characters so well in that show. I love them, all
And
of
it
them,
has Terry Crews.
and it has Terry Crews, who's amazing. He's so good. I
I
love
love
him.
Terry Crews.
All in all, I would rather watch Brooklyn Nine Nine over The Office for sure.
That's fair.
Just
I can
because
believe
the
that.
comedy and the wittiness,
Mhm.
amazing.
Mhm.
Also,
I
the go ahead.
think the reason why it can be like a very hit or miss um for viewers for The Office is
Hmm.
because it is trying to it is an American adaptation of
British film, or British show. Hmm.
a British show. And honestly, like me and you may actually enjoy the original British The Office instead of the
Oh yeah.
American one.
Hi, Kelsar. I
Chelsor!
was about to say, I wanted to
She's
wait for the
awake!
dawn. Yeah. What are you doing so early? Waking up so early.
So early.
So I don't know what the thing is today. We're talking about movies and shows we haven't seen and trying to convince each other to watch. So
Yeah.
for The Office, it also drastically changes season by season. Some are realistic over the overtop comedy. Going to bed early for whatever reason. You know what? Well, no, actually, I'm still
No,
going to
stop
sleep. Yeah, I
lying,
know.
girl.
I'm still late. I'm sorry.
Why you lying? Why you always
I
fucking
know.
lying?
Why the fuck you
You lying.
lying? Are you
Always
always
fucking
lying?
lying.
Oh my god. Stop fucking lying. Okay.
Really? Charles or I never would have. You are you sure? I don't know. I think Charles
Watch
or
me
likes.
see Merlin. Have you seen Merlin?
Okay.
No, don't. Yes or no?
No. Here's the thing. It was actually premiering or not premiering, but showing on something like Sci-Fi Channel, like PBS or something. Um, when it was first coming to America, and I
Mm-hmm.
tried to start watching it. I did start watching like the first 2 or 3 episodes, but I couldn't get into it.
For shame.
So like I did try and start when it first came out
Yeah,
or was
yeah,
first coming out to America because it is a BBC production.
yeah. So,
But I couldn't get into it.
so interesting fact. Um, my mother used to love watching BBC America. She was obsessed with BBC America. So she watched a lot of British shows, Merlin being one of them. And I remember she comes to me and she's like, Ricey, you got to watch this. You're going to like it. Watch Merlin. And I think I saw the first season because I think, the first 2 seasons on DVD. And I haven't finished watching all of them. But yeah, no, that is something I do need to finish watching for sure. But I did watch like the first season. I just barely remember anything of it. But the bros, yes, of course,
Okay,
they're
talking
bros.
about Merlin,
Bro stuff.
BBC Merlin. Did you ever watch because it does kind of apply. Did you ever watch the Merlin miniseries?
I don't know if I did. I don't think
Let
so.
me let me look it up because it's with a very iconic actor.
Merlin Watch
Um,
Party, yes, do it.
uh,
While you're looking,
miniseries?
I'm still looking for some more iconic shows. Oh! I have one.
Okay. Oh, and I was correct. I did think this. Okay, so it was in 1998. I guess it was just a movie, but it did premiere on like TV. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess I kind of perceived it as more like
Yeah, like a
a
mini series.
miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Starring Sam Neill as Merlin, Helen
Mm-hmm.
Helena Bonham Carter as Morgan Le Fay. So it
I
had
don't know if
like
I've seen
all
that one.
these
Yeah,
huge names
names.
for it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's looks like you can watch it on the Roku channel for free and Pluto TV for free.
Ooh.
Um, right. And so I don't know, I feel like that's something that you should see because it is like it's got a lot of big names for it.
Yeah. Well,
And it's
here's
only 2 hours. It'll be fine. It's all good.
I've seen a lot of 2-hour films. That's not going to be a big deal for me. Okay, have you seen? This is again a classic, and I don't think. I mean, this is also a big part of our culture, like
Okay.
in media.
Okay.
So let me ask.
Yes, I have absolutely seen the Tenth
I
Kingdom.
have seen the Tenth Kingdom.
When
I
it was
watched it in
premiering
the
on
past,
TV, my
like,
family would record it.
yeah.
We also have it on DVD, and we have a copy of it, a licensed VHS copy of it. So fuck yes, I have seen Tenth Kingdom. I'm sorry, you were saying?
I was about to say I remember the Tenth Kingdom because I watched it within the past 5 years.
Oh, really?
Rewatched it. Yeah. I don't remember if it was. I I don't remember where I found it. Wink, wink. However,
Oh.
I did remember watching The Tenth Kingdom, and that
Oh
is
yeah,
a
you
very
absolutely
good
borrowed
classic
it from
film.
Chelsea.
Oh yes, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah,
for sure. Yes,
absolutely.
yes, absolutely, and nowhere
So
else.
now that we have that up, like it, it's an isekai.
Wait, Kumo, you never heard of The Tenth Kingdom? All right, hold up. While you're looking, I'm gonna Wikipedia that shit because it is an isekai,
It's an isekai,
and
and
it's a
it's
good
really,
one.
it's so interesting. But you were saying, were you gonna lead into the 10th Kingdom? Was that your intention,
No,
or did
no,
we
no, no.
completely do?
We derailed because of what's her name? Chelsea was talking
Chilzor?
about. Yeah. So,
Sorry.
no, no, no. And the thing of it is, I don't remember where I watched it the first time. I just remember in the past 5 years I rewatched it because it was so prominent in my head.
I'm pretty sure my family watched it because of PBS.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure. Um, and we watched it actually several times on TV. Several
God,
times.
now you got me wanting to watch it again.
Because it's
It
good.
is
I want to
good.
know how well it ages. I bet it
Oh,
aged
I bet it's.
terribly, honestly.
I think so. It's cheesy. I remember it being full of cheese the
I
last
mean,
time
it
I watched it.
is.
Um,
Okay, I think you could be correct. Because I remember it being on like a lower channel.
mm-hmm,
Because I didn't have cable growing up. We only had public television kind of situation, or what
mm-hmm.
was ever broadcasted. So ABC was one of the lower channels, and
Okay,
think
so how would you convince Kumo to watch it?
I think us losing our shit over it would
Wait.
have been enough to
Okay,
convince
hold
him.
up. If you
And it's an
like,
isekai.
it is an isekai, because it starts with I think it was a woman in New York, right? Who
A
gets
woman and her dad
yes
in New York.
in New
And I'm
York.
pretty sure you are correct. It was Central Park.
That's right. I remember because yes, I do think that. And there's
Holy shit, this
a
has been like
gateway
20
between
years?
yeah, there's a gateway between New York and this complete fantasy world, which also has practical effects and a
Mhm.
little bit of I think CGI.
Oh, there's
But yeah,
absolutely CGI.
yeah. I
Like the
just try not to
fish.
remember.
Okay, let me point out the fish scene very close towards the end. Wink, wink, nudge,
Yeah,
nudge. How else is that
we can't
fish
spoil
scene
it.
supposed to happen
Yeah,
without CG?
yeah, fair. But it did have good practical effects as well. And
Absolutely, yes.
the set design for it, of course, it's like whatever the production cost is for a miniseries. But the sets were pretty good. Like I really enjoyed it, and it's interesting. It's still very prominent in my mind. You have to watch it, Kumo, for like
It's so good.
a. It's not
Well,
that
let the hair.
intense, but it's a very good watch. Like it's not.
It's a very good one.
Yeah, it's not that intense.
Let's. Okay, so it's kind of. It's an isekai.
Mm-hmm.
Set quote unquote in the modern day, so like the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
late 90s, early
So
2000s.
modern.
Right, but when it was produced, okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
And they go into the world of basically the fairy tales.
Yes.
Mainly thinking of like the Grimm fairy tales, but not really a horror kind of style, just like the traditional bedtime fairy tales. So you get like the big bad wolf and the fairy
Mm-hmm.
godmothers and
I
little Bo Peep,
yeah.
and so
I genuinely
it.
believe that that was the stepping stone to creating Once Upon a Time.
Oh, now that you point that out,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I really do see that.
There's oh yeah,
Actually,
there's a lot of similarities. But the thing is, Once Upon a Time is based on their Disney versions of those fairy tales.
yeah,
But
which is fair. It was
yeah,
an ABC production.
yeah. But the Tenth
I
Kingdom was the start. So if you
Yeah,
do like Once Upon a Time, you definitely like the Tenth Kingdom
yeah.
for sure.
Um, so I you've brought up Once Upon a Time. I have to admit, I've never seen it. I watched the first episode. Um, but I
Yeah, Chelsea has
didn't get
described
into it
it.
when it was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband, while we were dating, made a promise to me that if I watched an episode of Once Upon a Time, he would watch an episode of Supernatural. And we would do
Another
that
classic show. Yeah.
um and we it was just promised that it's like we would do that for the first season of everything and kind of go from there. Like
Yeah.
I know with Supernatural with its 15 fucking seasons, like at
I
the very most what I want my husband to watch is at least the first season
that
because that's
I
the most
watched the first
iconic.
two. I watched the first two and then I just kind of fell off.
Yeah, because after
It
like
was
when
just
you
too
start
much.
getting into the fourth season, it gets really bad because it wasn't supposed to survive that long. It was only supposed
Yeah.
to be 3 seasons. And so there's this really awkward 2 to 3 seasons where they're trying to figure out what the fuck they're doing, and then it actually catches its stride again and
Yeah.
does get good. But for him, all I would want would be like the first season.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's true. I do enjoy Supernatural. I think the first two seasons were really, really good. I haven't seen the third one because I was just like, meh, I'm good. It's just too
Yeah, you don't
much.
really need it.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so here's a classic. Again, this is
Hmm.
going way back, okay?
Are we gonna
Uh,
derail it? I'm sorry.
no, no, I'm glad we talked about the freaking 10th Kingdom. That's amazing. Uh, The Twilight Zone is the show I was talking about.
So we're talking about like the OG Twilight
The
Zone, because
OG
didn't
Twilight. Yeah, it was re or like there was a reboot for one of the streaming services, which
yeah.
was pretty good. I did enjoy
Okay.
watching the reboot, but the classic Twilight Zone is what I'm talking about because that show in itself is very iconic. There's a lot
Yeah.
of like film and TV classes in
Hmm.
college and stuff. They always talk about the Twilight Zone because of how good it is.
And the Twilight Zone is still like referenced to this day
Oh
in different
yes.
forms.
And they had a movie. Like they had the film, the Twilight Zone movie, which I've watched. I am a huge fan of the Twilight Zone. And
I've never seen it. I think I broke Ricey.
I'm so glad you can't see my face.
Okay, but let's analyze why I
I
wouldn't have
literally
seen
just
it.
sat there with my eyes wide open, my mouth agape, looking at your, what is it, your avatar, as if I'm talking to you.
So I never saw it because the original Twilight Zone is like what, a 1960s production?
Yes, it's all black and
I
white.
all black and white, and there's nothing wrong with that,
Mm.
but I didn't have access to that kind of thing. It was also kind of like that kind of surrealness that would have probably triggered my nightmares really bad.
Okay,
So my
that's fair.
parents didn't really kind of like go out of their way to introduce it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and as I've gotten older, it there are so many other things that are ingrained in our culture
Mm-hmm.
that I haven't seen that I have prioritized over the Twilight Zone for the same reason why I'm not gonna go out of my way and watch The Lord of the Rings, because the Twilight Zone is so ingrained in our culture that I don't have to see it.
Which is so
Like
interesting
I
because,
understand a huge portion of,
but that's the
admittedly, I don't
thing,
know every episode. I don't know every
right? Well,
episode, which is
it's
fine.
it's an anthology show.
Right.
So there's no like no serial series or anything. It's an anthology show. And when you say, well, it's ingrained in our culture, I don't have to watch it. I'm going to have to disagree with you because the reason let me go back. I watched this because my grandfather watched it and I sat and I remember one of the episodes. Because some of them, yes, they were very scary and they did give me nightmares because there was like the dummy episode where like there's a talking
Valid.
dummy and I
Yep.
terrified me.
Hmm.
Honestly, he was much worse than Chucky in terms of how creepy he looked. But I think I liked it. I can appreciate it more as an adult than I did as a kid. Because as a kid, I'm just like, oh, it's like a scary show, or like it
Hmm.
could be funny as well. There's like funny shows. But I've watched a lot of it throughout my life. Like I'll watch and rewatch episodes that are very prominent in my mind because it deals with issues that's still very relevant for today. Like some of
Right.
them is okay, yeah, it's like a spooky, scary story, but a lot of it does handle like social issues or personal
Hmm.
issues in a good and unique way.
Right.
Um, and I love that. I just the shows.
And especially if it's like the 19, when was this one released? The 1959. So excuse me, it wasn't even the 60s. It was 1959.
59.
That's is when
Hmm.
it started.
They had like this.
It
Go ahead.
it would be an extremely good series to
Hmm.
like start social commentary,
It
because
was
that's when a lot of
amazing.
stuff, like that's how a lot of like commentaries started.
Hmm.
Take the original Star Trek. It had
Oh,
a lot of commentary
true.
too, and
Hmm.
only continued with the other series that spun off from it.
That's true for sure. But if you want to watch it, there are some episodes I think you yourself would really, really enjoy, which is very easy because again, it's just an anthology. You can just pick any
Right.
episode and watch because you're not going to miss out on anything. But it does deal with like, oh my god, there were so many. It deals with like a lot of things. As a kid, there was one episode I remember where like this this kid has a superpower to get rid of people in his town, or he can change the adults in the town. And
Okay.
I thought that was the coolest superpower you could ever had when I watched it as a kid, because I was like, oh look, the adults are doing whatever the kid wants. That's the dream.
Uh-oh.
I watched it as an adult, and I'm like, oh, that kid is a sociopath. Hey. Because he
Mm.
transforms. This is not a spoiler because
Yeah.
there's a lot of years between this, but he
Yeah, no.
transforms one of the guys who speaks out against it. He's like, why are we doing this? Like, why is we listening to this kid when he's done nothing but torture us? And he transforms that dude who spoke out into a jack in the box, and like
Mm.
where his head was the actual like part of the box. It was none of
Cool.
it is gory. None of it is gory,
But it
but
it
it's
can be
unnerving.
unsettling.
It's
Yeah.
yes, it's so unsettling. And you can see these adults filled with fear because they're trying to convince this child, that what you're doing is wrong, but he doesn't understand it because he's a kid.
Right.
Yep, there you go. Kumo gets it. Yeah, Kumo. He's gonna kill all the crops. We're already hunting for food, and then gets turned into a jack in a box. Yeah, I I remember I really liked that episode as a kid, but as an adult, I'm just like, ooh, yeah, nah, I'm good, because he just has a mind of a child.
Right.
Anyway, straight up,
So you
watch
wouldn't
it.
necessarily suggest the entire original
There,
Twilight Zone series, but you would definitely suggest specific episodes.
oh yes, because
Okay.
there's some episodes that are just like, okay, this is it's kind of like a creepy one, but there are a lot of prominent episodes that really
Mhm.
stands the test of time that I really would suggest you watch, because they also have like people who deal with mass hysteria and fear as
I
like
do
in a
know the
group.
iconic one of the glasses, like the
Oh, with the
last man
man
on
who,
Earth. Yeah.
yes, that
So he
breaks my
he has
heart.
all the time in the world to read and
Yeah,
then breaks his
and breaks his
glasses.
glasses. And
I
it's
do know about that one.
yeah, that one is heartbreaking. And it's interesting because the actor is very good. I love his acting, and I can't remember his name, but he's a phenomenal. It was phenomenal. Yes, there are some that are cringy. See, yes, that is true.
Yeah,
But
that's
you know,
fine.
do you know the iconic episode of the man on the plane, and he looks out the window and sees something on the wing of the plane? Have you heard? Because they
Okay,
redone
so
it
I know
for
that
the film.
scenario.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was about to say it's like that. That's an iconic kind
yeah,
of. I have
that's a
not
good one. Because you don't know if
really.
he's. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like I don't really. I- I've seen other interpretations of it, so I don't understand what the
It's been in.
original is supposed to be.
Yeah, it's been in forms of media. Like a lot of people, they meme it, in other
Yeah,
shows and everything. Like it's a very
because
prominent
hasn't that
episode.
kind of been in one of the scary movies?
Uh, yes, it was actually in the Twilight Zone movie that was made in the 70s, and there was an. I think you know the
No, I'm
actor.
talking about like scary movie, scary movie.
I don't know. Oh, you mean like the comedy?
Yeah,
I don't. I don't know. I don't think so.
not in like the original, but I think it wasn't in
It
one of
might be
them.
one of those scary movie films, but I've seen a lot of them. I love the scary movie films. Uh, but I don't remember. Well, it might be. But yeah, that's something that has been memed a lot. So that's the one show that I really wanted to talk about because even if you have never seen it, I would suggest some episodes that I think you would really like. Like for real, I think you'd like them. Especially if you like psychological thriller because there's a lot of
Yeah,
that too. It's so good. Goodness, Twilight Zone forever. Anyway,
there was one I was gonna ask you about, and
yeah.
it was gonna be a movie, and I don't remember what it is right. I can't remember. Oh wait, no, yes I do.
Oh,
Um, have you seen The Fifth Element?
heck yes, I've seen The Fifth
I just
Element.
want to make
It
sure.
is, again, I'm glad you brought it up. It is
Mm,
a classic
it is a
with
classic.
uh,
Bruce
Bruce
Willis.
Willis. Yes. And it's a sci fi fantasy film.
If y'all can't tell, I like sci-fi.
That's good. I mean, honestly, I'm trying to see. I think it's, what's his name?
Whose name? Oh, the villain?
No, 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 no. Chris Tucker.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Yes.
He did so well. I
Okay,
love Chris
okay, okay,
Tucker.
okay. Here's the thing. I know you have seen this.
Yeah.
Talk about Chris Tucker. We're gonna
Yeah.
derail. Sorry, we're gonna go on
No,
the
no,
ADD
no.
tangent.
Go ahead.
Rush Hour.
Okay, yes, I've seen the Rush Hour films 1 through 3. And I told you I had to sit my husband down to watch the Rush Hour films because he's never seen it.
Girl, what did you marry?
Well,
We're
okay.
gonna go like a little bit on like an ADD tangent. So I'm gonna take over for a second.
Yeah.
So, Rush Hour, Jackie Chan. We're gonna ask, have you seen Shanghai Noon
Yes.
and the Medallion?
Yes. I think I told you this before. When I was younger, my dad was a martial artist. He did karate, and he loved
Jackie
Jackie
Chan.
Chan. So he watched a lot of Jackie Chan films, which a lot of them weren't that great, to be honest. Because not only did we watch The Medallion, we watched what was it, the Spy International Spy? I don't know. There was like one spy one. Um, we watched a
Oh,
lot of
I know
his
which
like,
one you're talking
yeah, I
about.
can't remember the
Like
title.
the spy one is supposed to be really, really cheesy, right? Like he's
Yes,
like a babysitter or like a
most of it was like action comedy. Because after his role in Rush Hour, they did a like
yeah,
action comedy kind of thing, and I watched
yeah.
a lot of those action comedy films with Jackie Chan. However,
Um,
speaking of Jackie Chan,
Yeah.
I never watched the animated show. Yeah.
How? Was it
Because,
because of the magic?
no, no, no. I just. Hold up. What was it called? Jackie Chan Adventures, right?
Yeah.
I know.
How?
I know. I
How?
know. I know. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Cheltor. What? Ma'am.
Oh, no. Wait. I think the reason why is because it 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 kind of the it collided with another show that I would watch more because it was going to be in the
Excuse you,
same
like
time
what,
slot. I
ma'am?
don't remember.
Like what?
I don't remember, but I do remember that it would clash with another show because I would rather
Nah.
watch that show
Uh.
because this one was
Uh-uh.
on, yeah, the Kids WB and Cartoon
Yes.
Network. But
No, it was WB for kids, ma'am.
yeah, but it
WB
says
for kids.
but reruns were aired on Toon Disney, so
Oh, really?
as well as Cartoon Network. So it's been everywhere, and I still haven't seen it.
Hey, you want to bitch at
Wait,
me about
no,
some of this shit? Ma'am.
Wait, first of all,
Ma'am. No, ma'am. No. We're ending this stream. You're going and watching
no,
it
I'm
right
not
this
gonna
minute.
watch Jackie Chan Adventures
Why the fuck not?
because I mean I
Because
feel like I
you're a
missed the
loser?
mark. I know. I think I've missed the
No.
mark because it was made
No.
October. So it was 2001 to 2002, right?
Ma-
Around the
uh-uh.
early 2000s.
I mean,
And-
yes, but like,
Chelsea, why not? What, you too good for Jackie Chan? My God, I take it we got some Jackie
want a
Chan adventure
Kuma
fans
wants
on
a
here.
refund of his money, ma'am.
Listen, I don't know why I didn't watch it, but I do think it's because I watched another show that was in the same time block as that one, and it wasn't because of the magic or anything, because I was old enough to differentiate, right?
Right.
And my dad wouldn't have minded because it's Jackie fucking Chan. Unmarried. I married a monster. What the fuck? Listen, okay, I'm sorry.
And people think I have committed atrocities against the pop culture world by not watching Lord of the Rings. Ma'am, how the
I know,
fuck,
it's
as a
embarrassing.
90s baby,
I know.
did
It's
you not
embarrassing.
watch
Jackie Chan?
Jackie Chan Adventures?
It's so I don't know. And the funny thing is I have seen the majority of Jackie Chan films that were released like in the US, right?
Right.
I've seen
fair.
all of his films that he did in the US, like English speaking films. And even
Yeah.
like beyond that, Enter
Some
the
of his-
Dragon or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he was like I think he did like stunts for that. But like I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of it. I just never seen the show. See, it's bad if you haven't watched it, but you're open to watching it. But the disrespect to saying no, she won't. That's over the line. All right, all right, all right. Before you're gonna have my head on a pike, I will watch Jackie Chan Adventures.
Okay, but when, ma'am?
Before the
Because you
summer.
told
Before the summer's
Okay.
over, like before the
no,
summer starts.
before the summer.
Yeah, before the summer
Okay.
starts, I will watch Jackie Chan Adventures. There's 5 seasons. Season 2
Yeah.
has 39 episodes. Oh my God.
Mm.
Well, got a lot to
Okay.
watch, I guess.
So, summer's official first day for
Yeah.
the Northern Hemisphere is June 21st.
June
You have
21st
until-
it is. June 21st. You can write it down.
I am, ma'am. I'm gonna put
Save
it on
in the
Twitter.
VOD.
I'm gonna put it on Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Couldn't
putting
say
that in
time.
my
I'm
calendar.
watching it as a kid. But you know what? I could screw it. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. All right. I still have.
Nah,
that
come on.
childlike
She's
heart.
gotta watch all of it. She's gotta
All of
atone for
it.
her sins.
No. Okay. All right. I'll watch. That's fine. I'll watch. Yeah, I'm gonna have my head on a
You'll-
pike. That's all.
Absolutely.
Abby's gonna Martha your ass if you don't. Oh my God. That's true. That's terrifying.
Yep.
Okay.
Ricey's deadline.
You're tweeting it out right now.
I'm making it a
We gotta
fucking event in my phone, ma'am.
show. Okay, let's pockets of mercy. Y'all are coming for me. Y'all are coming for blood. My goodness. Okay.
Because you
June
disrespected
21st.
our childhood, ma'am.
Might be. My hands are up in the air. I'm just like, I surrender. I will watch Jackie Chan Adventures. I've never seen a group of people so adamant on me watching a television show ever. Jackie Chan Adventures it is. Okay, well, we gotta wrap the show. So, who are you? Besides being
I am.
pissed.
I'm furious. I am Abmiki Ree. You can find me. I have my phone occupied.
Oh
so
no, that I've seen. I have seen
Abmiki
Sailor
Ree.
Moon.
Actually, I've seen a good majority of Sailor Moon.
Oh, but
There's
did you
what?
watch all of it? Huh? I'm just kidding.
I got a good way through like the Holy Grail
Mm-hmm.
arc. So I didn't get all the way through that. But I did get through, and that's what the fourth or fifth arc.
Mm-hmm.
So I did watch the original series. But I am Abmiki Ree. You can find me on Twitter, trash talking Ricey about this shit. And you can find me here. You will find me on occasion, playing with Ricey and Chelzor and some of our other friends on Twitch, kicking their ass in Splatoon.
Mm-hmm.
Causing chaos on Mario Kart because there's literally nothing else.
I love it.
And who the hell are you, ma'am?
I am
With your atrocities against humanity.
Oh my god. Okay, so apparently I am scum of the earth because I haven't watched Jackie Chan Adventures. But there I am. My name is Abola Ricey, the person who didn't watch Jackie Chan Adventures, and you can come and you can crucify me on Twitter. I'm open to it. Okay. But yeah, so you can find me on Twitch with Abola Ricey or on Instagram, Bessos Cosplay. Or on Twitter with the same name, Abola Ricey. So you can find me there in many places.
I mean, you could like atone for your sins by cosplaying from Jackie Chan Adventures.
I'm not gonna cosplay from freaking Jackie Chan Adventures. Well, unless I find a character I like. Maybe. Kuma,
okay.
Yeah, not that you didn't watch, the disrespect of refusing to watch. Well, I am no longer refusing because I'm not allowed. I am not allowed to refuse. Yeah, that's true. Abby not watching The Lord of the Rings is worse because it's a classic film, but at least she was open to it. That's true.
Okay, so technically, I kind of did watch it.
You didn't watch it. You
well,
just
like here.
you
no,
secondhand watched it through.
No. No.
Okay.
Because of a group that I was a part of, like born into and was raised through it. We did a demo for a local theater, and they gave the group that did a demo for them for the Lord of the Rings tickets to go see the midnight premiere of Lord of the Rings for the first two movies. I just happened to fall asleep in them because I was 8.
That's even worse.
And it was fucking Lord of the Rings at midnight.
Okay.
So technically,
you
I
didn't
have
watch
seen.
It. No, you didn't watch it. You slept through it. Sit your ass down.
And I'll sleep through it again,
Y'all
ma'am.
fucking weak. Oh. No, you wouldn't. As an adult, I don't think you would sleep through Lord of the Rings. I really do think you would appreciate it as an adult, for sure.
I was about to say, you're probably right, but my ADD, nope.
Not
the director's
that bad
cut.
For my ADD. Oh, yeah, you have to cut it in
God.
pieces. Yeah, they're so pretty. Oh my god, I love the Lord of the Rings. And if I have to watch Jackie Chan Adventures, you have to watch Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I was gonna just watch Jackie Chan Adventures with you
No,
again.
no, 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 no. If I watch Jackie Chan Adventures, you have to at least the first film. Because yeah, Chelsea's got it. You would love their costumes. You would love the set
I've
design.
seen
You would
their
love the cinematography. Yeah, you haven't seen that, have you? Or the practical effects.
have,
Or the practical effects.
ma'am,
You need to watch it. Like
ma'am,
full through the first film.
ma'am.
All I'm
You do understand that
asking me
my
to watch
family
5
also
seasons.
has the director's cut,
Yeah.
like the
Then
extended
then
director's
watch
cuts.
the director's cut.
So I have seen all of the behind the scenes shit for
But
it.
not the film. You haven't seen the film. It's like me watching, oh, I saw the animation, like how they did Jackie Chan Adventures. I seen behind the scenes, but have I watched the show? No. And you would be still pissed at me. So, you should watch.
Because you don't understand the story that is Jackie Chan Adventure.
So, Kumo,
I
you're gonna have
understand
to,
the story.
Kumo, you're going to have to retract that statement because she's not open to it at all. She's like, nah, I've seen it. I've seen the costumes. And yeah. I don't mean to piss you off. I'm just poking a
Like
bear.
there's this thing that I refuse to. Oh, medical so it's like, like you're like, oh, you haven't seen it. It's like, okay, like I'm just gonna type it to you.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that's a good way to end the show. Yeah, I know that, but that still doesn't mean you've seen it. It could be big and people can talk about it, but it doesn't mean you've seen it. That's like secondhand watching.
Like
or
I
absorbing.
lived secondhand.
Yeah. But still absorbing. And the show everyone mad. No, it's funny because as much as we argue and complain and do this, and we all know it's for jokes.
Yeah, no.
It's all for jokes. Because I mean, we all love each other. And I didn't realize how many people love Jackie Chan Adventures. I'm the one who pissed off everybody.
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 Well,
mad.
okay, so let's be honest. We've talked. Well, you have offended the wife.
I did jokes. Right.
You have offended the wife. Also, it's like people aren't mad about me because we've discussed that I haven't seen The Lord of the Rings multiple times. Like this is not a hidden fact.
No,
You just blindsided us.
I guess
we've been married for years.
I guess,
and then you
think
just
that was such a
spring
big
this on us.
deal. Yeah, apparently it's a very big deal, and I need to
how did
remedy
we
that.
not know this?
I'm already like, Chelsea is already filing for the divorce. That's what she's doing. Oh.
Now I'm concerned. She's like, wait till she walks into my house. I'm like, which one?
I'm going to the doghouse. That's where I'm going.
Sad thing is, she don't have no doghouse.
I know. She'll build one specifically for me. But yes, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I will keep y'all periodically updated with me while watching the Jackie Chan. Yeah. The cartoon. I've seen the films, but apparently that's not enough. I gotta watch.
No, ma'am, it's not. Poser coming in here is like, I'm a fan of Jackie Chan and not seen his show.
Well, he doesn't voice the main character, but
he does.
No. The main character is James C. But he does do. I do remember because I have seen an episode, like one, that he does do like after the show.
No, Jackie
has,
Chan
like, a
Adventures
cameo.
lists Jackie Chan as Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan Adventures on the wiki cast James C as Jackie Chan. See, Jackie Chan as himself appears in live action sequences at the end of the episode. That I do remember. So,
Hmm.
But I do know this is a show. So, no respect for
Because
you, Jackie
you
Chan. I'm
wouldn't,
still a fan.
you not saying it, but for the opening title sequence,
Hmm.
um, like introducing the characters and
Hmm.
things like that, it has the actual Jackie Chan like turn into an animated Jackie Chan.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's why I'm like, it's really.
Yeah,
I
Jackie
guess you're
Chan,
right.
but he lives on the action thing. That I do remember because that's the only thing I remember about the one episode that I watched was that he was at the end. That's it. I don't even remember the episode that I watched. I just remember he was at the very end. I'm a
Mm.
sham. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good week. Stay safe. I'm gonna look behind me now at all times before I get slapped upside the head by a stranger because I didn't watch. Okay, I'm done. Uh, I hope you do guys do stay safe and um, yeah, just stay safe. I know the world's crazy at the moment.
Fucked up right now.
Yeah, but I hope you guys stay safe. And
Yeah.
next week we'll start with a new topic. If you have any ideas, again, be sure to I was gonna say Twitter us, tweet us if you have any ideas or of anything you want to talk about because we do read y'all's tweets for sure.
Yee.
Did you want to end on anything?
I mean, I don't think we actually told them what our Twitter was.
Oh, we should. Whoops. Oh, Chilzor, go watch Batman. We talked about that earlier. That was the first thing we talked about for sure.
Yeah.
People feel she almost did. We talked about it for a good 30
I
minutes.
mean,
That I don't.
if
You
you
were
look
there,
at
that's
our
right.
history,
Yeah.
you would see that there are a lot of episodes dedicated to like DC and
Yes.
Marvel and
Yeah.
superheroes and
Well,
Batman.
but Chelsor, since you weren't here in the beginning, I said the reason why I chose today's topic was because of you and Abby's discussion in the group chat.
Yeah.
Because she was like, "I ain't gonna watch this," and you're like, "Nah." Chelsor being, "Nah, you should watch it. You'd enjoy it," and then you're like, "Ah, okay," just like that. But I know you value their opinions
Yeah.
a lot, so.
I'm now questioning your opinions, ma'am.
Oh my god, it was
Yeah,
one
we're not living
show.
this down.
One show.
We-
I watched everything else that you have thrown at me today. But when it comes to Jackie Chan Adventures,
Mhm.
all cards are off the table. Okay,
All
I
of
see.
them.
I see.
All of them, ma'am.
Well, I'm glad. This was a very fun episode. I'm glad everyone had fun. I'm glad, like, Kumo and Shelzor, thank you so much for engaging with us and everything.
Yee.
But yeah, I hope you have a good day, and we'll catch you next Sunday.
Yeah.
Till then, have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.